What's up, Harley and Joker fans? This is the Shipper's Guide. We just talked about Joker and Harley and their mad and for some people problematic love, but some comments have arisen that warrant that this couple be revisited. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers say this, but I actually mean it. I do go through all the comments, and the ones for this video have been particularly interesting. I also hope we get that Jarly hashtag off the ground. The more you say it, the less it seems silly as a portmanteau name. While I was perusing the comments, I noted that one argument/viewpoint keeps coming up over and over, and that sentiment is, but Harley hits the Joker too. People forget that. Since this keeps coming up and it was merely glanced over in the first vid, let's put a spotlight on this aspect. What does the fact that Harley also gets physical with the Joker mean for this relationship? And does it negate the perspective of those who deem the relationship abusive? Firstly, for those who pointed out it is impossible to analyze insane behavior from a rational perspective, 100% true. But analyzing these crazy characters is part of the fun. But no, their behavior is most likely not going to make much sense when held up against the guidelines of proper realistic behavior. And in the case of this pairing, most people don't want it to. As many said, they're villains. Let them be evil, that's the point. And for many, part of that encompasses their less than healthy relationship, but still a narratively intriguing one with much nuance. In the last video, we really focused on how the Joker treats Harley. Now let's focus on how she treats him. We've gone over how obsessed and devoted she is to him, but let's also address the fact that Harley is no shrinking violet. She is intelligent, capable, and will defend herself when pushed, and she is in no way afraid to tell her puddin' what she really thinks, despite past experiences. They say the definition of insanity is performing the same action over and over again and expecting different results. But they say a lot of things.
Are these they?
What they say aside, this results in Harley at times getting physical with the Joker, as well as punching him, trying to kill him on more than one occasion, and biting his lip off, as well as many other incidents of what many would deem as tit for tat. In terms of people often forget, perhaps, or perhaps they are unaware. As mentioned, this couple is old and have had many stories told about them. As a result, not everyone may be familiar with every aspect, and may have missed out on stories highlighting that particular element. In which case, it's not forgetting, but simply a lack of knowledge, and being introduced to this new material may in fact alter their perspective. On the other hand, it is possible that the added factor of Harley getting in on the physical violence herself does not tip the scales in this relationship's favor, as the fact still remains that the two are in a relationship. And with the Joker as the orchestrator of the cycle of belittling, demeaning, and physical abuse, her retaliation in kind can be read as just becoming part of that cycle. And while some may feel it gives her additional agency and shows she can take charge, others view it as her being trapped within this cycle of violence. Others merely find the suggestion that her hitting him changes anything to point to a kind of double standard. That of women striking other women or men as a sign of strength and dominance versus males striking each other or women or anybody as weak, cowardly, and automatically abusive. Still others wonder why the Joker is highlighted when she also has physical confrontations with the likes of Batman. The reason for this is due to the fact that barring rare exceptions or headcanons, Batman and Harley are not in a relationship. They are strictly hero and villain, and combat over saving the city is very different from someone in a position of trust abusing said trust by getting physical or demeaning, especially coming from an angle of manipulating positive feelings of love or devotion, although some would argue that none of these feelings are positive at all and they're both just obsessed. Basically, the Joker-Harley situation and the Batman-Harley situation are fundamentally different. But again, some would say that the whole scenario is fictive, so it can be weighted differently than a real-world encounter. The physicality of Harley is another aspect that lends nuance to her character, and does elevate her in terms of strength of character in that it is another facet of her personality and creates more stories to be explored and worked through. And this adds another level to their dynamic, which some view as agency on her part. But that does not mean if she strikes back, it automatically negates his actions for all shippers, nor does it justify them for all, though it does for some, who view this element as an equalizer that makes their relationship mutual in an insane and villainous kind of way, bringing it full circle to they're villains. What did you expect? Your mileage on this topic will vary, depending upon where you fall on the divide of realism and representation versus entertainment and exploration, topics that do not need to be antithetical but often find themselves at odds. And even so, what many deem realistic will vary from person to person. I just wanted to do an update because this kept coming up, so clearly people felt it wasn't fully addressed in the first video. Hopefully this fulfills all of your #Jarly needs. Now, on a spoilery side note, get out now if you don't even want the vaguest spoilers for Suicide Squad. Many viewers were thrilled with the new dynamic introduced in this film, wherein slight alterations were made to give Harley more agency in her own origin. though still not total. And the film very much served to highlight the aspect of the two as the clown prince and princess of crime, while also playing up the Joker's dependence on her presence. So if you were on the fence or holding off because of the reviews, the dynamic between the two in this film is fascinating and for ardent shippers very enjoyable, even with all the scenes that were cut out. It's honestly worth a watch just as a film as well, nowhere near as bad as people are painting it out to be. However, again, for those hoping for converts, not everyone will connect with this portrayal, nor will it necessarily override preformed opinions. For some people, what has been is too much to ever get behind it, no matter what changes may come. While for others, it's a die-hard ship and an OTP, for some more still, it's simply not their cup of tea, not even for any specific reason. Different strokes for different folks. Thanks so much for watching this quick update here on Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And please check out Twitter, because I update you guys on what I'm gonna do next. And also, I just like talking to you guys. So pop over there if you like. And stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.